A happy family lived in a beautiful village. They had two children and enjoyed a content life. One day, after attending a meeting, they were returning home from a trip when a terrible accident occurred. The children's mother died in the crash, but the children and their father survived. The children was devastated by the loss. Their father soon faced a difficult problem. He was struggling to care for his children on his own. He began to consider finding a new wife who could look after them. Eventually, he found a woman and married her. Having been honest with her about his children. However, the new wife was wicked, manipulative, and a convincing actress. In front of her husband, she pretended to be a loving mother and cared for the children with perfect manner. But the moment he left the house, she would become furious, hitting them with a stick and treating them cruelly. The innocent children were terrified. She threatened them, saying, "If you tell your father, I will throw you out of his house, and I will kill your father too." One day, his sister was starving, so the boy went to his stepmother and asked for something to eat. She yelled at him, shouting, "Get out of my house! Go and beg for money!" She forced them both out. The cute innocent children went out to ask for food, and everyone helped them. After they ate, they slowly made their way back toward home. Their father saw them walking and asked, "Why are you two walking outside?" They replied, "We were starving and asked for food, but mother did not give us anything and forced us out to beg." The father became enraged. He rushed home, slapped his wife, and threatened that if she ever treated them that way again, he would throw her out of the house. The very next day, after their father left for work, the stepmother threatened the children again. If they told their father, she would kill everyone. She began to beat them daily and force them to do heavy chores. Yet, whenever the father returned home, she quickly resumed her act, pretending to be a caring mother. One day, while the father was at work, a kind neighbor noticed the children secretly crying in the yard as they scrubbed the stone floor. She had often observed the wife's cool demeanor despite her cheerful display when the husband was present. Sensing something was wrong, the neighbor approached the children gently and promised them safety if they told her the truth. Tears streaming down their faces, the children finally confided the whole terrible story. The daily beatings, the starvation, and terrified threat to kill their father if they spoke. The neighbor was heartbroken and immediately resolved to help. Instead of comforting the weak stepmother, the neighbor waited patiently. That evening, when the father returned home, she visited him, but she did not speak. Instead, she asked him to come to her house for a moment. She led him into a quiet room and with a heavy heart played a recording she had secretly made earlier that day. A recording of the stepmother screaming hateful threats and hitting the children while forcing them to work. The father listened in stoned silence, His heart breaking as the cruel truth was laid bare. He saw the genuine fear in his children's eyes reflected in the neighbor's grave expression. His shame turned into a fierce, protective anger. He rushed home, not shouting but with a cool, terrifying calm. He comforted the stepmother with the evidence. When her performance crumbled and her ugly nature was finally revealed, he gave her a stark choice, leaving his children and his house immediately, or he would call the authorities. Shamed and exposed, the wicked woman was cast out of the village that very night, never to return. The father hugged his children tightly, tears falling as he begged for their forgiveness for being so blind. He promised them that from that day forward he would be both their father and their mother. He quit his demanding job and found work he could do from home, allowing him to cook their meal, help with their studies, and always be there when they needed him. With the kind neighbor support and the deep love they shared, the three of them began to heal. The darkness lifted, and the village once again saw the children laughing freely as they played in the sunshine. Though they always cherished the memory of their first mother, the father and his children found happiness again, cherishing the true love and peace they had fought so hard to protect.